We're going to get into some tongue-twisting terminology today. It's Jadu from the Cash Compound. I'm one of the banking bros here, and I have just come up on my anniversary, not of an infinite banking policy, but of my affiliation with the Nash Institute. And recently, just last week in August, I had the privilege of hosting a monthly chat on Zoom with all of the practitioners. Practitioners is the fancy word for the folks who think they're good enough out there to be able to continue to spread Nelson's message right here from becoming your own banker. So, tongue-twisting terminology. That's what our topic was. As you know, everything we do here is very simplified to make sure regular people can understand what's really going on. Because according to Nelson, if you know what's really going on, you'll know what to do. So, what happened to me on my journey of learning to implement infinite banking into my life? Remember, that's something that you do, not something you own. What I realized is many of the terms and the concepts inside Nelson's book and in the world of infinite banking are things that I did not grow up on. So I didn't understand exactly what they meant. Financing, cash value, face amount, dividends. I did not know what these words meant. And because of that, it really tripped me up at the beginning of trying to realize if this is something that's so good and so powerful and these wealthy, ultra wealthy people and corporations have been doing it in our country for so long, what is it that I'm missing and not understanding? To learn something in the future, to get on the right path, sometimes we have to go back in the past. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take it back to the beginning. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word starts in Genesis. So let's go back there for a second. Now, I know some of you I lost you, and that's okay, but stick with me for 2 more seconds, and we might understand and learn something from the beginning, from the book. Now, over the course of mankind's dominance into the world, dominant thinking, dominant ways of life, God said in his word that things started to go in every which way. Man started to believe that they could do whatever that they wanted and whatever was right in their own eyes. That's kind of an Old Testament type of a term there if you went to Sunday school growing up like I did. In Genesis chapter 11, what happened is the world came together. See, you remember Noah's Ark and that Sunday school class and all the great boats and the 2x2 and all that stuff? The people came together and they wanted to build a tower. They wanted to build a tower to show their dominance, to show their progress. And what's crazy about this story is that the people could do it. And the reason they could do it is because in Genesis chapter 11, it says, now the whole world had one language and a common speech, because everybody was on the same page. They could do something really important. Remember, when I'm going through becoming your own banker, I don't know what the words mean. It's like a different language. It's financial foreign language to me. And because of that, I could not get on the same page, literally, and understand what was going on. So I had to go find videos like this one, podcasts out there to try to help, or to have someone explain it to me. In the New Testament, a prophet comes up to one man who's reading the Old Testament scriptures of Isaiah, and the prophet says to the man, hey, do you understand what's going on? And the man says, nope, I don't get it unless someone can break it down for me. He needed the preacher to preach. So that's what we're here to do today. We're here to remind you that at the Tower of Babel, people came together and they were trying to do something amazing, something big, build a tower to the heavens. They were going to go get to God. Now, if you know the end of the story, God came down to the people. But they had a big idea that they were going to be able to make it to God. I'm not sure how big, how high, how vast they could have gone. But the point is, God said, this is not how I want you to do it. I don't want you to try to get to me. That's not the plan. That's not possible. That's not what I want to do. I want to show you that I, in my infinite wisdom and ability, I'm going to come down to you. So what he did in that story was he confused the language. Everybody, at that point, God created all of these different languages, and the people then scattered. They couldn't get things done because they didn't know what other people were saying to them. So literally, when I got to junior year, maybe, 10th grade in high school, and you had to start taking Spanish, in most U.S. High schools, I probably have to take foreign language, French, German, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Chinese. I was like, man, this is whack. I do not know Spanish that well. I don't know what to do. I can't pass this. Who invented this language? This is crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Conjugation, get out of here. And my teacher said, it was a Christian high school that I went to, said, hey, God created the language. I said, oh, apologize about that. Let me calm down here. If we all can get on the same language, we can build something big together. So let's talk about one specific term inside the language of infinite banking that may help you today. While on the Nelson Nash call that we hosted for the practitioners in August, my brother and I at the Cash Compound, we introduced them to the problem we had when we first started. We didn't understand what all the terms meant. One of those terms is cash value. So let's talk about cash value. What is it? If you give an insurance company premium dollars, the bill to pay for the product, that product is a contract. That contract has a big number of death benefit on it. That's probably the only thing you actually care about. How much does it cost? How many dollars do I need to put in to buy this contract guarantee that you guys are going to pay out? Death benefit. So what is cash value? Why is it important? Why it's important is because it's liquid. What is it? It's how much net equity you have in the purchase of your policy. The big amount, it's yours one day. They wait till you die to give it to you, and they hand it to your beneficiaries. What cash value is the net now for the future gross benefit. The net now for the future gross benefit. And what I had the privilege and pleasure of doing was asking the question to the Nelson Nash community, how would you describe it? How would you help people understand what this product is giving us today to use? We can use it, lose it, abuse it. We can leverage it because the insurance company owes us something big. Here's how much we can use now. Not too different than maybe your home equity. But let's see what our fellows had to say in the Nelson Nash community. We have about 5. I'm going to comment in between them. We're going to listen to them. They're from all over North America. Canada is represented here as well as the U.S. You know, you can do this in all 50 states, some of the territories as well, and in the provinces in Canada. So let's go to one of our Canadian counterparts up there first, and let's see what he had to say.
Cash value should be thought of as equity. Similar to a home equity in your home, as the years go by, the equity increases, and then when you apply for a home equity line of credit, that is against the value of your home. Once you get approved for your home equity line of credit, you have access to money that you can use either to invest in something or to use towards personal projects. Nonetheless, this never devalues your house. So the value continues to grow, and you have access to money that you're able to use for yourself.
There we have it. Appreciate you and your contributions to the Cash Compound channel, my friend. Thank you for that. Now, think about that. It's like equity in your house. I think that's the easiest way for most people to understand what's going on. Let's compare what we are learning to what we already know. Most of us have home mortgages, and as we pay off the total, the death benefit, the big amount, the mortgage, as we pay off the big amount, we have more and more equity value. So appreciate that. Let's go on to our next one here. And I believe we're still in Canada for this next practitioner of the Nelson Nash Institute and the infinite banking concept. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. This is JP Martinez at controlwealth.com. Just want to touch base in regards actually to the infinite banking concept, also known as IBC. Actually, I want to share with you some of the what most people mistake what IBC is really all about. And a lot of the time, actually, when people hear about IBC, they're thinking that it's a way for people to sell, life insurance at a high cost, which is not the case. Because if you read actually the book, which is actually right behind me, if you read the book Becoming a Banker from Nelson Nash, you will learn that IBC has nothing to do with life insurance. It has nothing to do about rate of return. It's really about who controls the banking function of your life. So the more you understand what banking is all about, you understand definitely that permanent life insurance, high cash value life insurance, as Nelson talks about, is definitely the way for people actually to maximize the value of the money. So keep in mind, it's not about rate of return. It's not about life insurance. Yes, we do use life insurance as a tool for IBC. However, if you want to know what exactly going on in your financial life, you need to understand the banking function of your life. You need to pay attention to what IBC is all about. Thank you, guys.
Okay. IBC is not about life insurance. It's about the best tool to be able to control the banking function in your life. Most people miss that. And so it's a common misconception. We get our tongue twisted on what we're talking about in the first place. And if we get into a conversation about rate of return, you probably miss the banking idea completely. Appreciate you out there. Let's move on to our next one. We're still in Canada, ladies and gentlemen. The Canadians are getting that grasp on this. And we're now with Richard. Richard, what do you have to say, my friend?
Hey, it's Richard here with Wealth on Main Street. Cash value. People ask about cash value a lot. What should we think of it as? What should cash value be? Well, in my opinion, cash value should be thought of as equity. Think of your house. You get equity in your house. You pay the mortgage down. The mortgage comes down, builds equity. The house value goes up, which you don't control, by the way, builds equity. So value of the house going up, mortgage going down, everything in the middle is that jelly in the sandwich. That's the equity. Now, if you never borrow from the house again and you just paid the mortgage off, you have all that equity. It's all sitting there trapped away. If you want to get to it, there's only two ways you can unlock that equity. You got to sell the house. Then you don't have a house, so you got to fix that problem. Or you can borrow against that equity as collateral, usually from a third-party bank, some third-party lender. See, cash value is the same thing. You can do the same thing with cash value, but you have all the control. You don't have to ask for anyone's permission. You get to control the repayment terms. Everything is in your favor. That's the power of cash value equity.
Richard, coming at it with the jelly inside the sandwich there. We're going to unlock this cash value equity and it's still, once again, it's kind of relating to your home. So you can understand that there is an increasing death benefit, increasing value of your home. See how similar these things are? And if we don't get to the dollars inside, we don't leverage them, we don't use them for anything, they're just trapped away. That's fine if that's what you want, but we can utilize those dollars to go bring us more wealth. The dollars at motion will bring us more wealth. And so I love the way Richard put that there. Appreciate it. Now, I think we're going to the Americas. Well, we're already in the Americas, but let's go into the U.S. of Americas, and let's talk to someone here, a practitioner who's been in the game longer than I have, put more dollars into the game than I have, and let's see what he has to say about what's going on.
Hi, my name is Justin Bauer. I'm an IBC practitioner from Minnesota. I just want to say a quick thing about IBC is often misdescribed as being a sales tool to sell high-value life insurance that doesn't do no good. But I'm here to say that I've been doing this for 12 years, and I put a couple $1 million into this. And I can guarantee you that this is not about selling something. It's about taking back the control of one's family finances. Thank you very much.
How often do we hear that life insurance sales or life insurance salesmen are tricksters, shysters, snake oil salesmen? This is about selling something to line their pockets. Or do we actually hear that it solves your problems when it comes to financing, saving, building wealth, and having a legacy, income tax-free? Appreciate the way Justin broke that down for us, because it's often misconstrued as being a ploy to get someone else rich rather than keeping the money in your family and passing it on and keeping you rich. Appreciate that. Okay, I think we might have one remaining today where we're going to chat with one of the ladies, one of the banking beauties around here, about what's going on, what's going down when it comes to cash value and how you can think about it. Here's our last one for today.
Okay, I believe that cash value should be thought of as equity. Now, the technical definition of cash value, as far as I understand it, is that it is the current value of a future death benefit. But I like to think of it as equity because it is similar to home equity. If somebody owns a piece of property and over time, every time they make a mortgage payment, they are paying down the mortgage, and you also may have appreciation or you may not have appreciation, but either way, you are gathering equity in the property and you can borrow against that equity. That equity becomes something for collateralizing, very similar to cash value. The difference would be in cash value, it is liquid, it is easily accessible, it does not have to be approved by a bank, you do not have to qualify for it. It is also the liquid portion of a whole life insurance policy. So hopefully that is a little bit helpful to somebody who wants something to compare it to. It is not apples to apples comparison, but it's about as close as you can get, I think.
That does it, ladies and gentlemen. We have closed the book on it. We don't want you to be caught up in these tongue twisters on what actually is going on and what the definitions really mean. It's like saving and investing, banking, finance. It's spending, it's keeping. We've got to make sure we understand what these terms mean, and we have to get on the same page. If not, we're going to have a lot of conversations, confusing conversations, really about math, because you're going to get into investing conversations and rate of return conversations. If you can stay away from those long enough to learn the definitions, and then we can build on those foundations, and we can get to code cracking cash flow very soon. We look forward to getting on a call with you soon. We have free consultations here at the Cash Compound where we walk and talk people through their questions to make sure they understand how they can become their own banker.
You are now tuned to the banking bros. Said we couldn't make it, drink or settle, this the life we chose. Gave a lot of game, we never got a lot of things. Bow your head and say the prayer, we taught you how to be the bank.